in February, I got airlifted from a crash in New Zealand.
For people that don't know, like Rampage is like the craziest mountain biking event, period.
That's like my claim to fame in mountain biking, is doing the first ever grinds on mountain bike. I grinded El Toro. After Rampage in 2022, I cased a jump really bad, and my ankle was just constantly pain. I couldn't figure out why. I saw 4 doctors, 4 specialists, ankle specialists, and they all told me I was never going to ride again. It's really an adult summer camp. Come here, have fun, meet some great people, and leave pain-free.
CPI Stem Cells Podcast, Scotty here, and I got Dylan, the madman, Dylan Stark here. What's up, buddy? Thanks for jumping on the podcast with me.
Oh, dude, thanks for having me. I'm honored to be here.
That's great to have you back, man, and to hear that you're doing so much better. How'd you find out about us, and what was the injury? Because I don't think we met the first time. I think I might have been out of town the first time you came down, right?
I think you were at the dinner maybe, but it's a big group. I'm sure. Like, I was kind of like a shy guy at the time. I wasn't really trying to stand out or nothing. So, I found out through you guys about Rooftop, Mike Escamilla. He was always promoting you guys. He's a good friend. I've known him through BMX, and I was after Rampage in 2022, I cased a jump really bad, and my ankle was just constantly pain. I couldn't figure out why, and then I was seeing doctors and stuff trying to like figure out what's going on with my ankle, and they told me I have like no cartilage left and it's destroyed. And then I saw 4 doctors, 4 specialists, ankle specialists, and they all told me I was never going to ride again, that I'd have to replace my whole ankle. And I was like, I was 31 at the time, and I was like, I feel too young. Reached out to a head surgeon in Germany, and then he said, don't replace it, you're too young, look into other things. And then that's when fate happened. I just see Rooftop posting about CPI and how it fixed his knees and everything. He's always going back. So I reached out, and I was driving to Arizona that day and had like a long drive. So I was just like, you know what do I got to lose? I'm going to call it, and I called CPI, I emailed over my MRIs and everything, and they got back to me saying, this is probably what you need to do, and come down here. And then I saved up a bunch of money and pulled the trigger, and went down here. I didn't know what I was really getting myself into or anything. I was still pretty new at the time, and I was just like, had all this money saved up to buy a van, and I was like, well, if I have a van and have a bad ankle, I can't enjoy the van, I'm like, well, I don't need a van, and then I'll just health is more important than anything, honestly. So I was like, all right, let's try this. If I do an ankle replacement, a whole surgery, that's crazy. There's no going back from that. Like, I could try this and see how it goes, and then maybe down the line I get the replacement. But 2 years later now, and I'm like better than I have been in years. If you go like back on my old YouTube videos, I'm always complaining about my ankle. I'm like, oh, my ankle, this, that. And I was in watching the other day. I was like, man, I never shut up about my ankle hurting. And then now it's just like, okay, it hurts sometimes when I do some crazy stuff, but like, what doesn't hurt nowadays? I'm getting older. Like, everything hurts when I wake up. So, they really, like, it changed everything. I couldn't even go on hikes or do anything back then. And now I'm like hiking, I'm carrying buckets and buckets of mountains and stuff, and all this hard labor. And the craziest part is I used to always have to ride with an ankle brace, like both ankles fully braced up, even sometimes tape underneath them. I haven't worn an ankle brace in over a year and a half. Wow. And it's like the craziest thing, because I used to even be sponsored by an ankle brace company, and like, as I'm a good friend, we're still good friends, but I was like, dude, I don't even need him anymore. Like, this is how good it was. I was telling him, like, you need to get into this. Like, you gotta look into this. And he's thinking about it as well. So like, I'm just trying to tell all my friends that has been getting hurt that like, because everybody rolls their ankles BMX, and it's like the first thing to go is your ankles are swollen. Everybody's got that puffy ankle all the time. And then I think like the low cut socks, like, don't let the circulation go. And because that was like a style to have low cut socks for a while, and you just like build up inflammation in there. So I don't know. But I just came down here July 2023 for the week. Went to the old place and stuff before you guys at this amazing new center, and I had a great time. It was amazing. I met a lot of cool people, met a famous MMA fighter, and spent like a week hanging out with and I still talk to all these people I met, which is like, I thought it was like an adult summer camp, because like we came, everybody's kind of like iffy about like what's going to happen when everybody gets on that first bus and then come across, and then at the end of the week everybody's exchanging numbers and they're all best friends again. I was like, it really felt like I went to like way to summer camp as a kid, and then like, but now I'm an adult. So I thought it was so cool and helped out so much. Like I tell everybody, like, dude, you gotta, if you're something hurting, like you don't go straight to surgery. Like look into other options, and this is the option you gotta look into is stem cells. Like it really,
I mean, nothing works for everyone.
Nothing works for everybody, but
I think this week we have like 27 return patients. I haven't met everybody yet, but everybody I talked to so far is like, yeah, I'm doing great. I feel much better. You know, so, and there's varying degrees of what much better means to people. But I agree with you. Like if if it's chop your whole ankle, your knee or your hip or your shoulder out, or at least try stem cells, like, what do you got to lose? Once you chop it out, it's gone.
Yeah, 100%. There's no going back.
If the stem cells don't work, which they usually do, if you follow the program, it sounds a lot better. A lot better to me.
Yeah, I thought my career was over. I was really like huge depression. I was like, man, this pain, it won't stop. I can't enjoy life. I can't do much anymore. And then I was like, well, what I got to lose? I'm going to try this because I believe, I'm a heavy believer in technology is advancing so fast. And we're finding out more and more stuff all the time. Like these old tactics of just chopping it out or cutting something and then hopefully gluing it back together or putting something in there. Like I feel like that's in the past, you know, we're beyond that. We're a crazy race of technology and stuff. So like finding out all this and then doing this procedure, like it really is the step forward, you know, like I believe it and I owe everything to it, man. Because literally 30 days after my procedure, I'm laying on my couch and late at night, and then I get a call to get into X Games, and I'm like, okay, this is a dream, because I literally just got the email that I didn't make I was an alternate for Rampage that year, the 2023, and I was like pretty bummed. I was like, man, I put out a crazy video, I went hard for it, and I was like, okay, this X Games call just changed everything, because I've been trying to get X Games as a pro BMXer my whole life until I became a mountain biker. And then I get the call for real mountain bike, and I'm like, wow, this is the second edition they've ever done. And I got to be in it. And fast forward a couple months, actually almost a full year, to like when they had the summer X Games. The next 2024 is when they gave us the medals, and we found out what place we got. And I got third place and fan favorite, which meant a whole ton, because I feel like fan favorite is the first place in my book.
Yeah.
So
what do those judges know?
Yeah, I mean, like I don't have the cool sponsors that put on the event. Yeah, but I mean, you do it for the fans, anyways, man. Without the fans, I wouldn't be here. You know, like they mean everything.
Absolutely, yeah. So I mean, for people that don't know, like Rampage is like the craziest mountain biking event. Period. Like, there's nothing gnarlier than Rampage.
Big mountain skiing on rocks, and no
deep rocks,
no crash pads, no nothing. And then a lot of people don't know that you had to spend 10 days prior to the event building your own line. You have a team of two dig crew of 2 people, and then 1 filmer. And it's your team. You know, it's like a team sport now. And then you got to be out there every day from sun up to sundown. That's your allowed time to dig. And then it's super cold in the morning, super hot midday because it's desert. And then evenings are pretty nice. But like you're so tired after those 10 days that you just don't want to ride a bike. Yeah. But then you got to go do the gnarliest thing you've ever done in your life.
Gnarliest, like.
And it's like not something you ride year round, because
no way you die.
Yeah, and it's just like so much like physical labor just to climb the mountain every day off all your tools, work up there, and it's a good time when you're hanging out with your boys.
You collab with the other, because I see guys use some. I watched a lot of Rampage now, and like you guys like collab together, because sometimes people are hitting like that one big canyon gap, like obviously one person didn't build that giant jump.
Sometimes the canyon gap, the year I was in it, was built by the event. It's like 500 sandbags. You only are allowed 75 sandbags per team, so like
you got to carry those sandbags up. They drop them off for you.
They're empty, and then you got to fill them up there or something. Yeah, but you got to use a lot of rock, because you only have 75, which they go quick. So like it's good to team up with another team if you got a big build and you're like going the same line or want to build the same jump, because that will help. And then it's like more people digging, less work for you overall, and then like you could build something bigger in that short amount of time, and then you could team up and use sandbags or whatever rocks you find or whatever you find out there. And
does that all stuff get left up there? Is it in the same place every time?
It's in the same general area, but they like have different venues. So this year they're gonna go back to the 2021 venue as the last time they hosted it there, and then they switch it up so like it doesn't. There's kind of fresh in a way, like you're not riding last year's venue because it'd be like still pretty built. But right after the event, someone goes around with a pickaxe, and pickaxes like most of the lip, so you couldn't just show up and ride something. You have to go out.
That makes sense. Liability or
yeah, because people do go out there right after and try to like, fix stuff up and ride it, but like you have to bring your own water out there. Yeah, I mean, it's cool because then you have all these like crazy jumps that just got built out of nowhere, and then you're like, oh, sick. Like if I'm not in, I'm gonna try to go out and ride them and ride cool jumps. But you also, I don't think it's possible just to like say you're at the top and you just went down someone's line without seeing it, you would die because you have to spend that time looking at each feature, building it to like get it in your head, like, all right, I got to brake here, do that, turn here. I got to go super slow and then let go right here of the brakes. And hopefully that's enough speed. Because like if you just dropped in blind, you wouldn't know. You'd be like, what am I coming at? And you had to put these little rocks on the lips, like the takeoff. So like, you know what angle to go at. Because if you go off, you're going off a cliff or something.
I see they have the wind socks up there.
Yeah, it's always windy. There's never been a year. The year I was in it, we didn't even get to take a second run because like a hurricane wind came, and then it was even the next day it was like 70-mile-an-hour winds. So like we got lucky, we got one run in, but second run got canceled. So I was like kind of bummed I didn't get the second run, but I was also like battling an injury that whole week. From like the very first day of practice, I came up short on huge drop. And I had just like, because it was after the canyon gap, and normally after the canyon gap, you have like a ton of speed, but I just started from the landing, didn't have that speed case. That's when I started figuring out how bad my ankle is, because I was like, dude, I can't, like, I had to skip 2 dig days after that, and just hoping my team would have my back and like be able to do it, because I was like having such a hard time just even walking up the hill to get to that spot to dig at. So it's like way more than just that run. It's literally a marathon of endurance, of digging.
It's like an endurance sport, yeah.
Yeah, so I like this last couple months I've been on a strict program of just like eating good and then working out and there's trying to dig like by hand just to get the calluses
up. You're at altitude too. It's pretty high up there, right? So the air is pretty thin.
I think so. It's Virgin Utah. I'm not sure. It's by Zion. It might get half a mile high or something. It gets snow, like it snows there sometimes and stuff. So
it's like right down there too. I know where it is, like because my friend lands his plane at Hurricane there, a little airport right there. And I'm pretty sure that's about the elevation of the airport. There's about 4,500 feet, and it's got to be another 5,000 feet to the top of the.
Oh yeah, and then
you're almost a mile high.
Oh yeah, and it's like, I mean, the 1 hour time change coming from California is a little hard because they wake up 1 hour earlier, and you're waking up like the day of the event. I'm up at 4 a.m. and I'm sitting in line to drive into the venue because they make everybody wait in the dark at like 6 a.m. We get there, the sun doesn't come up till 8, so you're like sitting in the cold, like trying to get all pumped up.
Needs.
Yeah, you're like, I'm just trying to get amped, and I'm about to go do the gnarliest thing ever. And then the year I was in it, I thought it'd be funny to sneak a grind rail in because I come from BMX, I'm used to grinding and stuff, and then that's what I was kind of known for. That's like my claim to fame in mountain biking is doing the first ever grinds on mountain bike. I grinded El Toro, which is the most famous set in the world, and but it was a huge against the rules. Like you're not allowed to bring any outside foreign objects. And they kind of knew I like brought up in the riders meeting, like, would it be funny if I brought a rail? And they're like, you'd be like stoned to death and disqualified or whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. Whatever. Like it was like a joke, And then even at the riders meeting, they're like, did you bring a rail? I'm like, no, I wish. And then so on my run in 2022, I'm at the top, and we the night before, it's all on YouTube, but my dig team, we buried a rail on the final drop next to it in the dirt. So like once I dropped in, they had that was the cue to pull it out of the ground, like pulling a dead body out of the ground and putting it on the drop. And then so I grinded off like a 12-foot cliff, and I didn't get to practice it because it was a secret. And so I come around, do the big canyon gap and make it all the way, do a trick jump. And I'm turning around. I see the rail. I'm like, yes, it's there. I was like, okay, cool. Cause I already had the riders meeting and then I walked up the mountain. I never saw my dig crew again and I never talked to them. I was like, I hope they pull it out. And they did. And it was there. And it got like, I won some like rider choice of like a small like event, but I got second to last. They like docked my score for that.
Oh, yeah.
But I thought it was cool. People still talk about it to this day. It's been like a huge thing. Like people always bring up, and I'm like, all right, people at least remember something because they don't remember much from that year besides that rail. So I was like, that's pretty cool. Like it's something to remember that I'm doing something right, you know?
Yeah. How'd you make the switch from BMX to mountain bike?
Well, I was pro BMXer from 16 to like 24 or something, and I
Like you start racing or like
I started racing as a kid, and then I raced mountain bike as a kid, and then they closed down Big Bear when I was really young, like 12 or something, because of the lawsuit. That was like my local mountain, Big Bear Mountain. It was like Snow Summit. So they stopped doing mountain bikes there. I started picking up BMX as a skate park open near my house, and I started going there, and I was like, all right, all my friends are doing this. It's fun, and I realized I was pretty good at it. Turned pro, 16, traveled the world doing that, had like great times, and then started fading out because like BMX, it doesn't last forever because you start getting old, you can't go as hard, you gotta get a real job, and it doesn't pay as good, you know? So I got a real job. I'm working, building electric bikes, and then one of my coworkers rides mountain bikes. He's like, yo, you gotta try out mountain biking again. And then I was like, all right, we rented a mountain bike. I went out. I was like, wow, bike, like the technology and bikes have come so far since the last time I rode one. It was like, there's dropper posts and like geometry is all better. There's carbon fiber frames and like everything's lighter. Like, so when I was a kid, it was like so heavy. It was like a 60-pound downhill bike. And I'm like 12 years old trying to push that thing around. I was like, this ain't fun. And then got into that. And I was just riding like my old bike from when I was a kid. I still had it. It was like in a garage somewhere. Me and my coworker like found parts for it and built it up, and it was a relic. It's sick. I still have it to this day, but it's like it's an old bike, so outdated. And then I posted on Instagram like, oh, I wish I had a new bike. The number one dude in mountain biking, Brandon Semenuk, I've never met him. We just follow each other on Instagram, comment each other's things every once in a while, but sends me a message, hey man, I love what you do. I have this bike laying around. I could send it to you, and this needs a couple parts to get it rolling. And I'm like, no way, dude. Like, I was like, sick. And then he sent that to me. I started going to Snow Summit because they just opened up like the year before, after like 10 years hiatus of being closed. And then I go there on the new bike, and they had like an improv mountain bike like trick contest on their like little jumps they had. And I come in and do like a backflip, my first time backflipping a mountain bike, and I was like, I won a season pass. And I was like, sick. Now I could come mountain biking. And I met the head dude of marketing there because he's shooting photos, and he was super cool. Lee is his name. And then, so he gave me a season pass, gave me some like a new helmet and some gear and stuff, and like got me dialed in so I wasn't looking so like kooky and stuff. But I didn't care. I was just doing it for fun because I still worked a real job. And I was like, this is my weekend fun. I'm just mountain biking. And then I started like enjoying it so much, and like the new bike was like amazing, and I was like, oh wow, this is great. And then my BMX sponsor was like fading away, like BMX was like kind of dying at the point, and then they're like they had no budget, so like they're like, all right, we can't be paying you anymore, which I was only getting like $500 a month. It was nothing. And then so I was like, all right, I'm gonna go full in on mountain biking and give it all I got. So I went out and filmed a video. And then it did pretty good. I got like a couple 100,000 views and stuff, and then started getting some notice. And I did the first ever mountain bike grind on a mountain bike in that video. No one's ever crank armed a mountain bike grind. It's like where the pedals are attached to the cranks. Yep. And I crank armed down the most famous set in the world, El Toro, and which was not even done on BMX. So I'm doing something new, and then I got a lot of attention. And then in June 2019, they tore out this stair set at El Toro, and they replaced it, and it was like huge deal. And I went to high school there, so it was like kind of cool. And then I was like, man, it'd always been cool to jump off this, like they have this huge shade covering over like where the lunch tables are. And I was like, man, it'd be so cool to jump off this roof into like the stairs. But I was like, there's no way wheels could handle that impact. But like the day they tore it out, it was all dirt. It was like a perfect landing. So I was like, oh my God, we gotta. I did it. I hit up all my homies. Like we went there. my friend went there at night and he's like, dude, checked it out for me. He's like, dude, it's crazy. It's perfect. And I was like, all right, next day we're there. First thing in the morning, called up like the friends, like, someone's got to come film it. Showed there, construction's going on, you know, they're tearing it out. And like we get kicked out. So I'm like, whatever. And then we like wait till like 5 o'clock when this construction people go home. And then there's like 30 people, probably more than that, there just hanging out because it's like such a famous stair set. All these people came from out of just to come pay respect. They're like drinking 40s and hanging out and smoking. And like there's people that don't even ride, you know, or like skate or not. They're just like, they just want to see it. And they're like, they see me there. I got a shovel. I'm like fixing it up. And like, what are you about to do? I'm like, I'm about to jump off this roof. They're like, oh, no way. And like, they all hang out. We throw a rope. I climb up a tree while like the flag dance team is like starting their like thing under the awning. It's super fun. There's a whole video on YouTube, but
check it out the video. Yeah.
I climb up there. I get up. I've never been on this roof before, and I realized there's like a 6-inch like metal retainer around the whole roof, and there's some puddles up there and stuff. And there's like a tree right where you'd want to go, and there's like this beam that comes out for support that's like right where you want to be. So you like jump in one spot, you clip this beam and just be done, you know? And then so I'm like, all right, I'm up on this roof now. I'm stuck. I'm like, this is way narrower than I thought. It look better from below. And I'm like, well, I'm not climbing down. I'm only jumping down. I'm making it happen. And then, I don't know. It's like fate happened, or like everything, the stars aligned and everything. I jumped it, landed perfect, rode away, and then it went super viral. It was on the news and everything. And like Skate Line's like a huge skate like web broadcasting where they do like news. They even did a piece on it and stuff like about me jumping off, and then it blew up. Like it was millions of views. And like then like a couple months later, YT, my current sponsor, gave me a bike because they saw like, oh man, we wish we were on the YT, and did that. And I was like, well, I'll still take one. And then I went to like Whistler, snuck into like a best whip contest, did like a 360, almost won this high air contest on a hip, but someone else. It was like a huge controversy who should have won. I didn't win it, but it was fine because how everything played out, it worked out in the end, you know. And then they signed me January 2020, and then I just been going mountain biking since then. Like I was working a roof, like went from building electric bikes, that job got overrated, and then I started being a roofer. So I was like, man, this really sucks. I'd rather fall off this roof on a bike than fall off this roof putting someone's shingles on, you know. And I was like, I'm going to go full in, give it my all, and then see how it goes. And then a couple of video parts later and everything else, and then 2021 I got third place at the biggest contest in North America at the time. It was Proving Grounds. And then the following year I got second place, so that really helped like push me into the sport as like I'm here to stay kind of thing. And then I got invited to Red Rampage that year, and that's 2022 is when I found out my ankle was destroyed. And then I came here in 2023 and got my ankle fixed. And then right after that went to win the third place at X Games, and then the bronze, or the fan favorite, was that year. And then now it's only been like 2 years since then. So it's pretty crazy how fast things happen, but like it's nothing I could have ever seen coming, you know?
Yeah. So how are the injuries different from? I used to ride BMX when I was younger. I had a JMC. That's probably before your time.
Way before, but I thought
it was cool back then. Like, how are the injuries different? You know, I mean, I've done some mountain biking. I know it seems like you're riding a lot faster than I ever did on a.
Yeah, we're riding like almost motorcycles, like type of crashes. I'm jumping hundreds of feet, like 100-foot jumps now. And so you're hitting the ground a lot harder. I wear a lot more pads now. I'm like fully like suited up. Like I'm wearing knee pads, hip pads, back, chest pad, and full face helmet. You know, like I'm ready to hit the ground. But in BMX, I would just maybe sometimes wear a helmet and maybe wear knee pads. Like, but I'm hitting like concrete, and it's not as big, but like I was less calculated, I guess, in BMX. Mountain biking, I'm like more like focused and calculated. But I've had definitely more bad crashes mountain biking. Like in February, I got airlifted from a crash in New Zealand, which
is that the worst one you ever had?
It was a bad one. It wasn't the worst one I had. The worst one I had was in BMX. I missed the landing when I was like 18, and I woke up the next day in the hospital. I didn't know how I got there. I had a brain bleed, and that was luckily it. But yeah, and then New Zealand, I just jump. It was like a 70-foot jump. Went to do a 360 the last day of practice right before the event, and I just overspun because no one's spinning these jumps this big. Like I'm kind of I'm pushing the boundaries of what is possible now, and it just hair overshot the jump and over rotated first run of the day because there's wind. I'm racing. The wind's a huge factor in mountain biking, so you're like always battling the wind coming. So I was like, all right, the wind's coming. It's 10 a.m. I got to try this before, and then just hit my head really hard. Broke my helmet. Saved my life though. I would literally all I did was just knock myself out. I thought I broke my back. I was in the hospital, and they did an X-ray on me, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, your back's broken," and I'm like. Laying there, like, just hit rock bottom right there. I'm like, oh no. And then I'm like, let's do like a CAT scan or MRI or whatever. And they're like, we do that. And they come back a couple hours later. You know what? Your back's not broken. It's a previous break. I'm like, I broke my back before, I guess. I don't know. But it's good to know it's not broken now. And I was walking that day. Came and watched the event. I was really bummed. I was riding so good for that event. And just got taken out on something I probably should have just not done in practice. But, you never know when time just feels right.
Could have landed it, right?
Yeah, I mean, if I landed, it would have been great.
Yeah.
But things happen,
temporary, glories forever, right? Mm-hmm. Hoffman said.
Yeah, he's the ultimate man. Like, he's the legend.
Yeah.
He's a huge inspiration, highest air. And I've always chased the high of going big airs, So, like, he's definitely been a huge inspiration growing up, and he said like if you die, if your body in perfect condition, you wasted it. You want to use it till it's clapped out.
Interesting way to look at it.
Yeah, because
I kind of like my body being pretty perfect condition right now after being in pain. I've gotten that. I've been in the emergency room too, where they came to me and said, "Hey, you're 3 of your vertebrae are fractured," and you're like, whoa. What does that mean?
When I was laying in that hospital, I was like, oh man, this is gonna be a horrible flight home if my back's broken. But luckily, it was just a really bad road rash, horrible concussion, but no brain bleed or nothing. So I was okay. It just took like a couple months off of that after that, and just let my body heal, and then went back to doing what I'm doing and trying to film videos. And I really love videos. I feel like people don't really watch contest runs over and over again, like when you're hanging out with your friends, you're not like, oh, I'm gonna go put that contest run on. You're gonna watch like a good video.
You're gonna watch like best of or something.
Yeah, or like a good video part of some good music and stuff. Get you pumped to go out there and like go ride. And that's been huge for me, like growing up with Crusty Demons and like all those cool moto videos, watching those as a kid. I'm like, that was like my Bible, was Crusty Demons. Yes, like, it was on repeat in the
Bubba, all those guys.
Oh yeah, legends. And then R.I.P. Bubba and just like that was a huge inspiration. So I just always want to like, if I could pass that feeling on, if my videos to like the younger generation or just anybody, that makes me happy, like, cause I hear it all the time when I meet my fans and stuff. They just love the videos, and that really makes me keep going and pushing myself and trying to make a better product in a way, like a better high quality video. And cause they started out very low quality, but now they're getting there where they're like almost Hollywood style. Like I try to get but I also want to work with filmers that are like my friends. I don't want to be working with somebody I don't want to hang out with. I want to be hanging out with my good buddies, and that's the good vibes. And then you're like, you push yourself to a different level. And if you're doing, someone's yelling at you like, "Oh, you gotta do it again. You didn't do it good," or "I messed up the angle." I'm like, bro, like, I don't really care if like someone's in the background or something. Like, so they're like, "Oh, someone's in the background, you gotta do it again." I'm like, I don't care. Like, if my riding feels good in that when I landed it, that's good enough for me, And like, the music's huge on videos. Like, I want to use good music because that's how I discovered music as a kid. Is like you watch a video and you're like, "Oh, that's a sick song. I'm gonna go down with that or whatever." And I want kids to do the same thing. Not just some like generic whatever can clear copyright music. I want like something you're gonna download and bump. You're when you're out on your ride, you're putting that song on, type of thing.
It gives you the energy, the pump.
Yeah, it gives you like a weird feeling that you can't get from anything else.
Yeah. How, like, after you have a big fall like that or something, like, is it hard for you to go out and like do it again? Or you're able to just put it out of your brain?
There's some times where it's like runs in my head. Like, I had a huge crash while filming the X Games part where I like literally tumbled down a mountain, and I was somehow like unscathed. Like, the only thing I hurt my pinky, and we went to the the urgent care the next day to get an x-ray, and they're like, you might have internal bleeding, and I like almost fainted because they like poked me, and I'm like, God, do I have internal bleeding? I don't know. So I like freaked myself out, but it turned out I just had a sprained pinky. But like stuff like that, I'm like, all right, I know, because the wind got me that day. And I'm like, all right, gotta really pay attention to the wind. I'm not more powerful than the wind. The wind will win. So I don't know, some stuff like you have to get over that. Like it's kind of a fear. You're like, all right, I gotta overcome that fear. And like,
Do you go back and start with like a couple smaller things that you're confident on, or
yeah, I try to
like I just got to get out there and go big?
Well, sometimes like those days filming, you just like wake up straight to the gnarliest thing. Like there's no warm up. Like, or especially if you're at like some feature you just built, which is gnarly, you're like, you can't warm up on it because it's like there's no it's do or don't do it, you know. So I try to like get some riding in, like feel comfortable back on my bike again, and then like go out. Like it might take like a couple. I like to ride my e-bike around and like just stay active, or like maybe sometimes go ride dirt bikes because that helps like the speed and the big jumps. So I'm like, all right, I get some confidence in the air because it's all about like air awareness and stuff. So it's like a mixture. I like to use it all like kind of to build up to getting the confidence back, you know. Sometimes you need to just do something else, go surfing, or I like to be in the ocean a lot, clear my head. Like if I just focus on riding the whole time, I get burnt out. I want to like do other things, you know.
Yeah, that definitely. What's the scariest one you ever done? What's the gnarliest?
I feel like Red Bull Rampage was the scariest because it was so new to me, and I was just like, I had so much in my head. Like that was the year I lost my dad, so I just had that going on. I even wrote his ashes in my pocket and stuff. So I was like, I was a weird mental space, and there's so much pressure on you there. It's like they don't realize how like there's so many interviews and all these eyes and people asking you questions and podcasts and all this stuff, and like everybody's looking at you, and so you like want to do good just because everybody's eyes are on you. Like you're like not even riding for yourself anymore. So like this year now I'm going into it like I know how it's gonna be, and I'm gonna have like a little more of a clear head going into it, not so like stressed out and like I have to perform kind of thing. Like, I just want to like get down the mountain safely, and have fun. Like it's funny, they put like a mic on me to like get me talking going down. I didn't say a single noise.
Oh, really?
Like it's just like I was so zoned out and like terrified of like going off a cliff or like missing my line, or like I was just like, oh, I just got to do it. Like that, it wasn't fun at the time, but then after looking back, I was like, all right, it was pretty fun, the whole thing. And now like I know like the pressure, it was just too much that time. Like now I'm going into it.
Was there like one like jump or one like thing that you did before, not like an event that was the scariest, but like
the canyon gap at Rampage? I never jumped that big in my life. It was like 80 feet over a canyon, and then how you hit it, you had to hit this crazy double drop, and you're coming down this mountain, and like it's like you're looking up at the drop because you're coming like straight down, and it's like such a weird thing to look at because you're like, it's not in front of you, it's like above you, but like it's in front of you at the same time. So you're like, and the speed on that is like, because the previous years I was watching videos of it, and it's like someone overshoots it or cases or someone breaks a leg on it or something. I'm like thinking like, oh man, there's like so much room for error on this one jump, and you can't stop once you're going for it. You're like committed. So that was like terrifying. But once I got out of the way, I was like, okay, this is not as bad as I thought. And that was because I was sleeping at night. I was like, oh man, the canyon gap is gonna get me. Like, but
I mean, you ask the other guys like, hey, how fast you got to be going to go to the sweet spot? You know, like, is that how you figure it out? I mean,
yeah, luckily, we teamed up with another rider for that build. It was Simon Godziak. And then when I got hurt the first day, he actually ended up being the guinea pig and testing it first. And I trust him because he's like an amazing rider. And he hit it a couple of times. He's like, all right, we need to change the lip. So we went and changed their takeoff for it and made it a little more poppy, because it was like he barely made it over. And I was like, all right, I'm glad you did that. It wasn't me, because I wouldn't have known what to done, because it was his like 5th Rampage. He actually got, I think, 2nd place that year or 3rd place or something. So it was really cool. Like we got to work together on that, and you shared most of the same lines. So it's just like, it's a learning experience, because I'm so new to it too. Like the first time I watched Rampage in person was 2021, and I was there watching it, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. Like, it was so gnarly. Like I was like just sitting there like, oh my God, you see these big cliffs, because in person, it blows it out of water compared to the TV, because you like really see how big everything is. And then it's crazy now that I'm going back and it's the same venue as the first time I watched it at. And another crazy thing is, so when Brandon Semna gave me that bike, it was from his 2013 at Red Bull Rampage, which is the same venue that was my first year in it. So his bike that he gave me from that year was the same first year I was in it. So it went like full circle. Like it was such a trip. I like when I was doing an interview and they told me that, because I had no idea. I just like, oh, it was one of his old bikes. They're like, do you know this is his bike where he didn't complete his run, so he didn't care for that bike. And he's like, yeah, that's why he gave it to me. And then now, like, fast forward, I was in it on for him giving me that bike, opening up all these doors for me to get me into that event, which is like the gnarliest event hands down in the world. There's nothing above Red Bull Rampage and like the gnarliest. So I was just like, wow. And then just had a lot going through my head, but it was cool, and I'm grateful it all happened and stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome, man. I'm excited to go with you this year and check it out. I never been in person, but man, if you ever want to see some gnarly stuff, worst crashes of Red Bull compilation on YouTube. And it's like, wow.
Yeah.
You can see why it's definitely the craziest stuff out there.
Yeah. Luckily the dirt's kind of soft, like, but also there's also rocks and crazy.
The drops are like,
it's
still dirt and rocks.
Yeah.
I don't know how soft it is.
There's no easy way down or no easy way up too. Yeah. So it's like once you're up there, you're in it, you're committed, like, and then the wind's always a factor every year. And then, but the crowd, the vibes in the crowd, like if that wasn't there, you wouldn't be there. Cause it's like, why you'd be up there like, why am I even doing this? But like everybody there, and then you're like, it's like a helicopter right there. And like, I don't know, all your friends are there, everybody's cheering you. It's a good time. Like it's awesome, but it is a marathon, 10-day marathon of just digging and hoping you survive it.
Wow. Well, I'm excited. Let's get you a whole bunch more stem cells so you're ready. Man, plug your YouTube, plug your sponsors, anything like that you want to do.
Check out my YouTube, Dylan Stark, just my name. And then thanks to my sponsors, YT, Pit Viper, Salty, G-Form. I think that's it. Or no, Spank Industries. This is the bike parts. And then my own brand, Wookfuls, which is some clothing brand that I make, just a bunch of homies stuff. So there's probably other brands, CPI. I owe you guys it all, because 2022 I thought I was done for. No more ankle, no more cartilage, but now I'm here back doing it. Getting my second Rampage invite is huge. Like, if you asked me 5 years ago if I'd be here, I'd be like, you're crazy. Like, I even just moved into my dream house 2 weekends ago, so I'm building a whole compound and stuff. So like, everything's going great.
Bring the Sur onto the compound.
Oh, bring it over. I want
just to ride around. I'm not jumping shit.
You could jump. Buddy. There's some fun. I've already built a little pit bike track.
I'll be in the kiddie area.
Yeah, I want to come ride those Vegas tunnels. Yeah.
I'm worried a lot of people are going to find them and ruin it, you know?
Yeah, we won't tell nobody.
So it's a secret. It's definitely a secret. Oh, what's your Instagram? So people know your Instagram too. You got stuff on there.
Who is Dylan on Instagram? Follow me, check me out, follow the process of Rampage. I'm going to be posting a lot, trying to do daily YouTube videos during the whole build and then up to the event. So it's going to be a lot of work. We're going to do it all, and just trying to focus a lot on content this year and just keep it going, you know? Like, YouTube's huge. The fans are the most like faithful, loyal people ever. I met so many great people through just being YouTube followers and stuff that like they're longtime friends now, and it's just crazy how the internet works. You know, people reach out, they always send me stuff and like tell me to go to these places. I check them out, I meet people, and just like, even if it wasn't for Instagram, I wouldn't know about CPI, you know. Shout out to Rooftop for
Rooftop.
Yeah.
That nobody injures himself more than Rooftop.
Yeah, he's a legend.
He just busted his knee.
What did you say, in a movie theater?
Germany or something. No, that was his ankle. Tore his ankle walking down the stairs in a movie theater. Now he's in Europe right now. He just hit me up. He's like, I think I blew out my knee.
Oh, no.
I'm like, what'd you do?
There's always something. That guy has done so much, and he's had such an insane career. Like he's first grind a backflip ever done, and grinding over the swing set, and he's so much stuff. Like yeah, back in the day, me and Rooftop did one of my very first interviews for a website. It was about a startup that never came out. So Rooftop, if you're watching this, I didn't forget about
He'll be
that.
watching. Well, that's awesome, man. Let's go get you some more cells.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Scotty. And thanks everybody at CPI.
You're doing better, man. That's cool.
Oh, dude. If you guys ever have any questions, reach out to me. I'd love to answer any questions as much as I know how to answer them. But if you guys are interested in this whole process, reach out to CPI. They're amazing staff, and they'll help answer any questions and help you through this process. And it's really an adult summer camp. Come here, have fun, meet some great people, and leave pain-free.
Best hospital food ever.
Oh, yeah. I've been in a lot of hospitals. Top notch here. Like I finished everything on that plate for lunch, and oh man, I would eat this whole second plate. Like
we got one for you. All right, thanks, man.
Thanks so much.